It started with a monster of a man.
We hunted him across the seas.
Into the storm.
Then we fell.
Now we are here.
The sky twists.
The stars are all wrong.
We killed the man.
But we're no closer to home. We left for different reasons.
For legends.
For adventure.
For acceptance.
For fame.
For answers.
But how do we escape?
The Everstorm.
That's like shorter than we remember.
Pay no attention to us.
Before
We're
we get
just
ahead of
talking in the
ourselves,
background.
is our audio actually working?
That's a good point.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Confirmed?
Yes.
I hear
It's
it.
working.
Yep. Audio is good. All right.
All right.
Nobody's
hilarious.
messed with the settings since I logged in last.
Good
We're good.
evening, everybody. So, welcome to Everstorm Season 2.
Ooh.
Whoever thought we'd even have a Season 2?
I did.
Not I. So, to encapsulate Season 1, if you're joining us for the first time, and I hope we have new viewers tonight, that would be lovely. Our crew gathered in the shores of their homeland, country of Randallion, took to a ship called the Sarah's Grit, whose captain was driven by vengeance after an evil pirate slave lord who long ago hurt him on a very personal level. And so Captain Burl, through all their adventures, was driving ever towards finding this man, to the point that he rode into a giant storm many, many miles off Randallion's coast that seems to keep reappearing and not really move, called the Everstorm by locals. And all that's known about the Everstorm is that ships that enter rarely leave. And so he drove straight in, and they confronted Peg's ship. And at the height of almost having Peg down in their grasp, the ship of Peg and their own was sucked through a portal vortex in the ocean and led them to a strange land. They crash landed on a foreign island under strange stars and started to meet a variety of locals. At first, most of which were hostile to them. Since then, they have now gotten the ship sailing again. They cornered Peg in his own home and killed him. And then they met his wife, which is a large something called the Widow Bride. They managed to weaken her till she escaped for fear of being destroyed. So now, free and with a vengeance fulfilled, Captain Burl has given the ship to the guys. And so here we are, sailing proudly under the newly elected Captain Fulcrum.
Captain Fulcrum.
Which is the title of tonight's episode. And so, Captain Fulcrum sets sail on the Sarah's Grit, and they are being followed slowly by the Tolerance, captained by Captain Casey, and the entirety of both ships is all the refugees and slaves they've saved and or purchased out of slavery along the way. Basically, the two ships comprise the population of a small village now. And all of them are in the same boat as the guys, in that they are all not from here and strangers in a strange land. And so we now set sail on Sarah's Grit under Captain Fulcrum. And with that, welcome to the Everstorm, everybody.
Woo! Woo!
Yeehaw, season
I'm
2.
sailing away.
I was waiting for that. And so,
Watch out for the intolerance.
it's the tolerance, not the intolerance.
It's the intolerance after we
They
crashed
were,
into.
they were pretty intolerant when we crashed into them.
I mean,
I will give you that.
Just completely my bad.
Today we're going to
So-
work on parallel
Ooh.
parking.
Oh no, I don't think so.
All right.
So-
Boy, look at that fat boat. What a fat boat.
It's got a bit of a fat ass, that's for sure.
The Grit's got a big ass. She's a
Yep.
The grit's
She's thick.
thick.
It's like what, 3 times the width of a normal boat?
Oh, look
It's
at that
morning.
Fat boat.
It's morning of the 3rd day. Captain Fulcrum has officially been captain. And as you guys wake, most of you are shaken awake. Once, twice, 3, 4 times, with a very bad morning, as the Grit is sailing amidst a storm that has made it uncomfortable. The Everstorm today spins with a little bit of anger in her teeth. Not dangerous, but visibility is not great as she tips and dives amidst sails. The veil, in truth, is not this close right now in the map you guys are looking at. I'll scooch the veil off, because if that were the case, you would have hit her already multiple times.
Oh yes.
That's for sure.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Oh, hell's bells.
I like that it left a blood stain behind.
The boat did?
Tiny little veil blood stain where it used to sit now. That's awesome.
Twitch chat a long time ago
God, I hate
wrote a code for us that makes it so if anything is under half its health or 25% of its health, it starts leaving a little blood trail on the map everywhere it goes. And that is a fan favorite of the guys. They all love their blood trails. And when something hits 0, it leaves a giant blood pool that is obnoxious. But whenever we look at the battle map later, it's its own reward. Giant pools of blood. Who doesn't love that?
So we have a
We
bit
have
of a
nuts.
nuts appearance there. Yep.
No,
Oh, yeah.
chat asked if we had nuts. I'm saying yes.
Oh,
I
diamond almonds
specifically
there today.
went and bought Blue Diamond Almonds Smokehouse per Levi's. You said smokehouse, not sea salt.
The smokehouse are my favorite, but I'm dialing back on my salt.
Fuck.
But you're eating my favorite.
I only
So he
bought
went
these
to
for
the
you.
ones that have extra salt.
Tell you what. I'm not gonna let you down,
Yeah.
battle buddy.
Yeah.
After break, I'll go get my smokehouse, and we will smokehouse together.
Sweet. I appreciate that.
That's my
I don't
battle
even
buddy.
necessarily like almonds, but I bought this whole bag just because I thought we were going to be almond battle buddies.
We could be almond battle buddies.
Okay.
ABBs. So, all right, everybody. You are on day 3 of sailing. You guys now have a map you can all access in the handouts, which is the one that we talked about last week that you didn't actually have, and I had to cobble together for you. Sorry, it is not necessarily marked. It is just called. It's sitting in your handouts, and it's just
Skeezer's Master
called
Map.
Skeezer's Master Map.
Skeezer's Master Map.
You're welcome to zoom in all you like. It is a big boy.
Big tall guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
That's literally the same cut that I had from when we had the live game. All the
Hey,
little
Animal
dots.
G, what's going on?
It's an animal
Hey.
G. That animal G.
I
Popped it
think
right around
I
the
see
time.
where we're headed.
Mhm.
That tiny little red dot.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that is correct. The Presida's port city, correct?
That's what
Yes. And are you guys going north of this skinny landmass or south? Because it's
South.
reaching the
We
point.
said south, yeah.
choose.
Yeah.
Okay.
South.
We said we want to stay in friendly waters.
South takes us more out of Joinal waters.
Correct.
More towards
Once you
Tallulah
cross that
waters.
little thin blue line, you're officially out of her waters and into Lua's waters. I've also marked on the map the dotted islands that you got out of the Burble Innkeeper, that the rumored location of the Great Wizard, and who is quite
That's way
mysterious.
closer than I thought. So when we originally talked about this, I thought it was like way south, but that's actually really close.
No, it's not that far. That's fine.
So-
yeah, that'll work.
So, you guys are going along day 1, day 2. The storm, as you start to move against its turn, because you're currently going into it widdershins, so to speak. Fancy word for clockwise, chat.
Wait, what was it?
Widdershins?
Widdershins.
Widdershins is a British term I got from Terry Pratchett, may he rest in peace, because it showed up in his books that way. And it's a fancy word for clockwise.
Huh.
Or counterclockwise, Widdershins. So you guys are going counterclockwise against the storm. And as you get closer and closer, actually, it is starting to lift up. And you guys notice to the far left, I can hear my own echo from
that echo
somebody.
is feeling a little awkward. Yeah.
What's that coming from? Can we fix it?
I'm not sure. Somebody listen to us through speakers.
Off the port side, you guys can see, there it is. Off the port side, way off in the distance, you do see another island landmass. And now you're sort of right between two simultaneously. You see rolling mountains to the north on that landmass, and you see it's flatter to the south. You are looking at multiple days travel to get to either. You can see like day and a half, so to speak. So they both sort of slide along port and starboard at the horizon line. The starboard side one's a lot easier to see. And you notice that the first mountain range, you guys are from actual mountainous country and you wouldn't necessarily call it mountains as marked on the map. But the second little range to the right, you see a fairly sizable grouping of peaks that have got to be like damn near like a quarter of a mile high. They're crazy up there. That's the first true mountains you've seen. The weird thing is they are tinted somewhat dark gray, not white. You're not really sure what kind of stone you're looking at. And on the fifth day, so you guys are getting over halfway on your journey. Everybody's starting to feel sick from the constant storm. So you have Dibbin going around trying to help everybody out and alleviate symptoms. Is there anything anybody wants to do during the journey?
Well, Skeezer would be transcribing all those spells that he's got in his spell repertoire now. Make sure those are all in his books.
Do you need details on any of the ones that we may not have listed out?
You listed them all out, so I'm just going to go through and actually get them into my spell book.
Okay. On the second night of messing about with that, you see coming out of your pack tiny moths or butterflies. They kind of oscillate between the two. They keep floating out and landing on you or on your lap.
Okay. Hello.
They seem to land on you, and then you realize you can't feel them when they land on you.
Okay.
And
illusory then?
Your hand passes through them. One comes out, two. You wait a couple minutes, a third. They're coming from your backpack.
I'll go open my backpack.
You see one is trying to crawl out of the shut pages in the spine of your book.
Are you trying to communicate with me? And I'll go ahead and open the book up. Let it out.
How close? Question mark.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's exactly what you're doing. We are, if rumor has itself true, maybe a little over a week's distance away.
What's a week? Question mark.
Oh, are you aware of the passage of time, days and nights?
No. Is Dad going to find me soon? Question mark.
Yeah, there is definitely a way you can measure time where soon is the answer.
How? Question mark.
Relatively soon. You won't wait long.
I want to believe you because you're real.
Mm-hmm.
But ... letters fade.
Well,
I think you just want to use me for spells.
Well, that's certainly useful, but we are in fact heading in that direction. Now, before I had absolutely no idea where this individual would be, but now we have some clues, and that means we're heading that way.
Must find Dad. Period. Lost. Period. I'm starting to get scared that you're trying to be my new dad, and you're not, all caps, him, all caps.
Well, you don't have to worry. I know it's scary being out there in the real world, not sure what's going on, but we'll be there soon. And don't worry.
All right. The book, the letters fade, and the pages don't move or change. And you sort of wait.
Here's an idea.
And it goes past.
Maybe this will make it a little easier for you to understand. Here's my map. Here's where I think we are now. Here's where we were. And here's where I think your dad is.
I cannot see this map.
Let me make it out of an illusion. We'll try that. Does it work?
Can you draw it in me? Question mark.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. That would only take hours, but let's go ahead and do that. And I will start painstakingly drawing the extensive map.
As you start painstakingly drawing the extensive map, give me a dex check with proficiency because you are a cartographer.
What is Skeezer's Dex?
Skeezer's Dex, best band I've ever heard of.
It is absolutely the case. That's not how you roll that. Slash roll 1d20 plus the old 5, sir. What did I get? Oh shit! I rolled a 19 plus 5. That's 24.
You're getting excellent details, and you even managed to convey a sense of distance and time, if rudimentary. It's like me trying to explain to my 4-year-old a day versus a week, and they are basically the same to her. But you feel like you've made some progress because the urgency of the text that continues is gone. Now it seems like it is listening and actively engaged cooperatively with you. So that's what you're working on. Morgaine. Harmony occasionally whispers in, "Can you hear that?" And she mentions this voice that occasionally sings. It has happened now twice in 4 days at sea. Once at morning and once at right before sundown. You never hear it, and also for some reason your mic is muted, so I can't hear you. But that's okay, Cam.
That's why Cam's been so
no
quiet
one
this
can
whole
hear
time.
you, music guy. I can just go Cam. No. I'll get back to your scene when you're able to, communicate at all.
When is that going to be?
Balrin,
Yeah.
as you set sail, what is abundantly clear to you is long ago you had a vision. By long ago, it was, I think, even before Vula Sands. You had a vision of a meteorite falling out of the night sky.
I did.
We did a little dream thing quite a while ago.
I remember being one about like Elos holding
Check.
Oros,
You're
but I
back.
don't know if I remember meteorite.
I remember.
Well, a star falling.
Okay.
A star falling to land in the ocean somewhere.
Yeah, we talked about it being like the blood of the gods falling into the ocean. And you were
Yeah, I
like,
remember
no,
the
don't think
blood
that's it.
falling.
That's
but
not
I
it.
don't remember them being stars, but yeah, that works.
Okay.
I mean, that's cool. That's
Yeah,
how Ballard
sure.
remembers
You
it.
know,
Object
well, you
falling
said-
from the heavens. Nah.
You said it,
wrote
so gotta be true. Fuck it. I'm good.
Oh, no.
Balrin, as you've primarily been working the wheel of the grit, because despite your efforts to teach Fulcrum, he still seems a little wheel shy, so to speak.
Back on the rigging. All over the rigging.
And let's face it, these are some choppy waters we're in now. Apparently,
Yeah,
so
it's not
this
too
is-
good.
This isn't where you. This isn't where you
not
let
too
the,
good.
the guy with the white
No.
slip drive. Like you gotta.
No. Would be insisting, like, no, as captain, I will stay on the rigging. I like ropes.
That's excellent use of delegation, sir.
It's now been 3 times that this has happened to you. It is day 5 of sailing, and on days 3, 4, and 5, around sunset, right about the time that the sun, within about 10, 20 minutes of the sun dipping below the horizon line, you see a minor flare up of a star. And by flare, it is faint. It's like a sparkle of a star near the horizon line. And the first time, you did not notice it, actually. The second time, you remembered noticing it the day before. And the third time is confirmation for you. Because it's consistently appeared for you at the off the starboard bow. So it's east, a little northeast.
Is it always in the same spot in reference to land masses, or in the same spot in reference to the ship?
Land masses. It
Okay.
appears to be geographic.
It's just geographic. It's not like it's in front of us. Like
No.
Okay.
It's geographic. But what's eerie, and this is why it stands out and why I'm mentioning it on the third day, you now have land masses covering part of your view, and it's just high enough to appear above them.
Well, that's what a
Whereas
star would
before
do,
it
no
was
matter
l-
what.
Before it was lower.
Oh, okay.
Before it was lower on the horizon line, and now it's sitting above like peaks of mountains.
So its relative distance to the horizon still the same, but now that the horizon is higher because I can see land.
Right.
It's higher. Gotcha.
Right. And before you're like, it's just another star that's twinkles out based on light pollution or based on your environmental
Sure.
conditions. But this is the first time it's odd. I like how everything's about nuts right now.
It's all nuts all the time.
That's what our
all
chat
nuts.
is all the time.
Ballrin's nuts. You know, it's just par for the course.
If it keeps people engaged, great.
Hey, look.
Um,
At least my nuts are a spell component.
A legume. Yes.
No.
Kodo,
3 crack.
you are perpetually a little thrown off in that every night since that first strange dream, either middle of the night you're woken up or at dawn you're woken up, and though your dreams have varied, there is a consistency in that there's always the presence of slow, deep, gravelly breath. It's coming at different times. And on the 5th day, it's just starting to haunt like an itch at the back of the mind. On the 5th day, on the 4th day, before you went to bed, Ajo confirmed he'd had the same problem. Let's see. Gotta get through everybody because it's a lot of travel time. Fulcrum.
I would probably be trying to lay off my spells and seeing if I could do more to meditate on how I can better appease her since she is upset with me.
Give me a. You guys ready? Give me a wisdom check.
Oh,
Nice
snap.
plug.
Oh, name drop.
And that is a check. Yes.
C. Not a
All
save.
right. 19.
Ooh. Good rolls to start things.
Oh, well,
You control your breath. You go down low. You sync your mind through breath to eliminate thought and just focus on salvation or redemption. The idea of, I'm sorry, what can I do? Anything, I'll do anything. Your first night, you're not accustomed to meditation. It's not necessarily a component that Fulcrum lives with.
Yeah, I think the
Because
closest I
if-
get was when I'm doing my potions.
Yeah, if anything, fear is what Fulcrum lives with, you know? So night number 1, you managed to find a place of calm. Nothing out of the ordinary comes from it. But that night, you do manage to have restful, dreamless sleep. And then the next night, you try your meditation again. And this time, as you go deep, you achieve that center, like you're maybe starting to get, maybe there actually is something to meditation instead of just this once off where you're not sure if there's any benefit at all. You're not sure how deep you are. Status.
I forgot this voice.
On the ship.
Status loyalty increase. Exchange loyalty increase.
Don't know what that means.
You feel tiny, tiny, tiny little feet skitter off your shoulder, down your arm, and leaving you.
Ampersand?
Request.
I don't know. Is this ampersand? What? I kind of open my eyes and look around. He's not on me anymore.
He is underneath your captain's desk.
Right.
He is curled up at one leg of the bench, and he is trying to cling as far and deep into shadow at the base of the bench as possible, while not moving into the open floor space that belongs to anybody else. And you notice the tiniest bit of shake.
Does he seem like scared of me?
Yep.
Like if I. Oh. Sorry, I kind of looked down.
Request.
How, how? Who are you? Tell me who you are.
Beulah.
Does that name ring any bells to me?
Never heard of that in your life.
Who do you work for, Beulah?
The maker.
Do you know the maker is dead?
Query. Relevant.
I suppose not. Do you know why Ampersand is scared of me?
I don't understand.
Well, that makes two of us. I'm gonna kind of very slowly start to reach out towards Ampersand with an open hand. If he pulls away from me, though, I have to stop if I see him start to shrink
He
back.
scurries around to the opposite side of the same bench leg, so he's now out of view. But Thea, you're not really sure where he went, but you definitely do not see him beyond your field of view. Try and cross the room.
Oh. Maybe he just needs some time to himself. I guess. Is my
Relent
tattoo
to service.
relent service? What does that mean?
Relent to service. Affirmative or negative.
Query. What would relenting to service do?
Relenting to service would give in to the maker protocols. Mm-hmm.
Query. What are the maker protocols?
The maker's protocols for the half and half one designation Fulcrum are to bring about his glory in a living balance for all things, both dark and light, and to serve the maker.
Request denied. Do not query. Do not relent to service. No.
Very well. Beulah offline.
I leave and go up to the crow's nest for the night.
Let's see. I did everybody. Yeah.
Except for Morgaine with his mic.
Oh, right, because he can't talk.
How convenient.
Yeah, she hears a song twice.
You said there's a voice.
She says
I've
it's
never heard
faint.
before, right?
Yeah, but you don't actually hear it.
Right.
You haven't heard it at all. Harmony flutters in, and when she appears, she sits on your shoulder or on the lute, and she makes eye contact. Beautiful, tiny golden finch. But her beak doesn't move, but you hear a tiny voice.
I've never heard a voice before.
Okay. Well, I'm worried she's hurt. I don't know what that means.
Next time you hear it, bring it to my attention, and I'll listen harder.
The other one? He hears things.
The other what? The other whom?
The one that came, the one that's like me. My brother.
Oh. What does he hear?
An unwanted. An intruder.
That doesn't sound very good. So we're hearing a voice that sounds like it needs help, and someone's hearing a voice that is of an intruder, an unwanted. If I could hear these voices, maybe it would shed a little light, but I haven't heard any of these voices as of yet.
She pops onto your shoulder, and she starts to twitter out in the quick staccato, in the way you see a finch normally open its beak. But what comes out is a distant, keening, minor key of a sad aria. What languages do you speak?
I believe just common, draconic, elven. Let me double check though. Yeah, that would be it. Or what? Yeah, elven. That's what
anybody. What languages do you're? Where are you at, Morgan?
Probably deck of the ship somewhere.
All right. Anybody on the deck? What languages do you speak? Skeezer.
Just common and gnome.
Okay, Balron.
Elven and Druidic.
Okay, Fulcrum.
Celestial and Infernal.
Okay, and Kodo.
No one's gonna know.
I speak Draconic.
The best language. What's the point in the rest of
only
them?
proper language known.
The only proper language. The only.
That's why I speak it.
The language from which all languages were derived.
Agreed.
Clearly.
I also can speak. Not that it matters. I also speak to plants and animals.
I do talk to animals.
Sort
You
of.
can walk with the animals, talk with the animals.
I'm just saying, if there's a possibility, I only know those human-like languages and racial languages, but I can speak to every possible genus species of plant. Apparently,
Awesome.
all the languages in plant, I know them all. So.
It's not plant. I'm sorry. Everybody on the deck, you start to hear, kind of quietly, but coming from Morgane's area, a song that he's not singing. In fact, other people on the deck start to hear it too. And it's not the song. It's just pleasant. It's a minor key. It's sad. It sounds like somebody experiencing loss or remorse in an opera, as if sung from kind of far away. Fulcrum. It's celestial.
Oh.
It is a song a woman is singing. Save me, free me. He'll never let me go. Find me, light me. He'll burn me forever. And it's that over and over and over and over.
Morgane. What is that?
I don't know. It's just a song.
I can understand it.
Actually, can Fulcrum see the finch? Because I know he's seen it before. Okay,
He can see it.
But didn't look like it was coming out of it though necessarily, right?
It did. When you started paying attention, it was coming out of Harmony.
Oh. Is that Harmony? Does she need help? What is she saying?
I don't know. I think it almost seems that Harmony is telling someone's story for them. but it might be Harmony herself. I don't know.
Well, it's a song about someone saying they need help and that someone's gonna hurt them or use them if
That's what she was actually saying. That someone
said they
needed
want
help.
Where's this happening from?
I have no idea. I've never heard it before.
Well, I guess if you hear anything, let us know. Maybe we could figure out
Yeah,
something
if-
with the map.
I told Harmony to alert me anytime she starts hearing it again.
Skeezer?
Huh?
Skeezer?
What's going on?
Come up onto the deck.
Oh, okay, no problem. What's going on over here?
Order?
As you wish,
song.
Captain.
Thanks. So we have a bit of
Boom! Right next to Fulcrum. Oh! And then, you only go get him, Captain. He's not going to come out of the deck. I'll find him and drag him up here by his teeth.
Oh, he's here. But I like the enthusiasm.
Hey! And he hops up and hops back down.
We really need to get a cannon for him one of these days.
Well, if he's going to be there ready to make sure your orders are followed to the letter.
I just really want to tell him to fire a cannon. It just feels like it would be right. Anyways, we have one of the kind of weird situations that is your specialty. I feel like. So, you remember our bird friend that you can't see, but we told you about is totally there.
Well, this sounds totally plausible. I'm following.
And Skeezer should be able to hear it right now, right? He just doesn't know the language.
Skeezer's hearing coming from your area a song. Skeezer, it sounds like a beautiful Italian opera sung in a minor key. It's loaded with sadness, but whereas the sadness of the song sounds more like a singer-songwriter folk song tone, and the tone of it is almost like a country song about loss. Without the twang, without the steel guitar twang,
Or pickup
It's
trucks.
actually "Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me" by U2.
Oh,
I was just thinking the same thing. How did we have the same song in our head at the
Because he
same
kept
time?
saying,
That's
like,
weird.
They're gonna
Batman
kill me.
forever.
They're gonna do this. They're gonna do that.
yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Hold me, kill me, kiss
funny.
me, throw me.
That's of all the things that came to mind at the same time.
That's pretty
It
rare.
is more. It's more beautiful than the song, but just as sad. But it's not creating a supernatural. It's not a sadness that pushes in unwanted, which you're all now painfully familiar with.
I'm gonna tell your wife you said there was a song more beautiful than a U2 song, and you might get murdered in your sleep.
That's going to be a divorce waiting to happen. Man, that's rough.
I have no response to that. I'll have to deal with that fallout later.
Someone clip it.
Thank you.
no.
Clip it.
Shit.
Clip it for blackmail.
Good news
Fucked
is.
up, Aaron.
Oh,
I'm just saying about Mr. Oshag Hennessy. Yeah. It's not her favorite song, so that's the important one. You didn't shit on her favorite YouTube song.
It's
so we're
no
still
one's
okay.
favorite song.
Which I'm not going to tell you. So there we go.
For the best.
So anyway, yeah, it's it's a lovely sad song, really.
It's coming from the bird we told you about that is totally on Morgane's shoulder or on his loop most of the time, that we saw that one time that you put us in a tree that wasn't really a tree, but it was a tree while you went off and destroyed the city with Balrin and they lost an arm.
Yep, that sounds right.
Yeah. So when that happened, and he came back,
That story tracks.
we came back and he has this little finch now, like this little gold finch, and we're pretty sure her name's Harmony, and she is singing that right now, and she kind of is connected to the song, right, Morgane? You think?
Right. I think
Balrin?
so, but I don't know.
As you're
for
just
sure.
sailing, you have the highest passive perception. You notice, while trying to not look like he's totally paying attention to what's going on, as the ships swell and shift and change, you can see on the starboard bow of the Tolerance, Griggs, the dwarf with the weirdo sidekick, is sitting at the side, totally looking in the direction of your ship. He's trying to make it not look like he's doing that.
Huh.
Only Balrin notices that. He's got a high enough passive. The rest of you miss it.
Okay.
Captain,
Oh, that's me. Yeah.
To the helm for a moment, please.
Oh, okay. Move over a few feet.
Over there on the tolerance, the strange dwarf with the colored beard.
Oh yeah, Griggs.
He keeps staring off this direction.
So salty.
I'm not sure what he's wanting, but clearly he's wanting something.
Well, he's jealous. Probably
Jealous.
Well, I mean, he's.
He can't help it. He's a dwarf.
No. I think he was kind of in competition.
Pretty sure that's
with me.
racist.
I think he was in competition with me a little bit. You see, like, I'm pretty sure he serves the same person who gave me Stitch. And until recently, have been showing him up some, but I think she's kind of upset with me. This is all besides the point. But he's looking at us.
Someone gave you Stitch?
Oh yeah.
I thought you just created it. When you wanted,
No.
You just summoned it to your hand.
Oh no, it's new. Well, new before I met you. I mean, you guys, I got it before I met you, but only a little bit before I met you. It helped me escape, actually.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's from the same source. Griggs, his spindle, that weird little imp thing that was with him. It's like kind of connected. Because I was told that there was someone competing. So, I think he knows something about. I'm trying to remember things that Fulcrum knows that Tim knows, and that
Don't even bother.
Tim know that Fulcrum knows.
Fulcrum doesn't even know what Fulcrum. Oh no, not Fulcrum. I was gonna say, but Fulcrum knows where Tim knows. Tim knows everything. Fulcrum.
Yeah, he's a 10 intelligence, just straight up. I'm just gonna.
If you're not sure, house rule, DC 10 intelligence check, and I can let you know.
I will do that. It seems only fair because I don't remember if that's information that only Morgaine has, or if he told me. Is it an 18?
What specifically are you trying to remember? You're not sure if you know.
I remember we had a vision at some point where we learned that Griggs, not only being connected to my patron, also has a history with the song specifically. Like he's been like showing up in bars and like kind of seeing it. And I remember we had like a premonition.
Morgaine knows all about that. That was specifically a premonition Morgaine had.
I can't remember what you told us.
The question is whether or not Morgaine shared it.
I am almost certain I did.
It's typically, unless Cam has a character that specifically doesn't do that, like Crow did. Crow wouldn't share anything. All of his characters typically share.
None of our characters would share anything.
Yeah.
During that campaign? Yeah.
It's weird how that campaign didn't work out too well.
Yeah, well, I don't know why it didn't last.
Amazingly, I was the one character who shared everything in that game, except the one thing I gave to the end that I had. I mean,
no. Yes, Morgaine. You recall, Morgaine did share this with everybody because he cornered Griggs and started asking a lot of very specific questions.
I watched him invisible. Yes.
And you watched him invisible trying to be a living lie detector.
That's right.
And though Griggs is very charming and polite, almost everything he said had truth in it, but there was more unsaid.
Mm-hmm. I'm not really sure what his deal is, but he definitely, I think he wants, or at least he likes Morgaine's song, maybe a little bit too much. So,
I guess it.
I guess he's probably hearing this, and he must know that it's connected. Morgaine, you think? You're sure he's looking over here at us right now? He can hear this all the way over there?
I'm not sure he can hear us, but keeps ducking over this direction.
The ship is legitimately like 400 yards. It's a good distance away.
Mm.
I mean, maybe you can't see him as well as I can, but he's there.
Morgaine, what if you asked her to stop singing for a moment? Maybe I wonder if he'd go away. But
before I ask her to stop, I try to like take note of the melody just in case I need to recall it later.
Got it. You have an ear for this kind of thing. You memorize it.
Yep. Harmony, could you stop singing
She stops?
for just a moment? So I look over my shoulder back at Griggs. Is he still... looking away.
He stays exactly where he's at,
Mhm.
and he's trying to make it look like he is carving something in his hand. Or he's holding a small thing. It's too far away to know if he's carving. He seems to be focused on something small in his hands.
Mm.
All right, I look back and I say, "You can start singing again if you'd like." And if she does, I want to see if he looks up when she starts, or like makes a movement when she starts. Like,
Perception check.
do I have that?
You don't.
I mean, I do.
We've tried to get you to be the scout for the party, and we know how that goes.
No, he's the best scout in the party.
The sad part is I have a 4 to
Super
perception.
stealthy.
I just
That's
pretty
always
good,
roll
actually.
terrible.
The +4 is not bad at
See?
all.
See? I rolled a fucking 2.
Oh.
I like how he called it. That's beautiful.
Just always consistent.
Look at that 20 just sitting there staring at you
Sitting there
like,
waiting.
go fuck yourself.
Yeah, just like, nah, we're not
You get to
doing
have the
it.
tens digit of what I am, but
I'm
nothing
gonna have
else.
to go back to like physical dice. I had to give up on the digital dice last time.
They were not good for you last week.
They were really bad.
Or
All right.
game.
Morgaine,
Physical.
he does not move from his spot. He is hanging on to the railing as they are rocking just as high and low as you guys are. And so there are, every couple of seconds, the tolerance disappears as it goes down and you guys go up or back and forth, or a wave obscures your vision. You can always see the tolerances. Jesus Christ. Sorry, I gotta stop reading the chat because there's a lot of 7 days to die stuff going on over there.
Yeah, I would say it's really produced all of our best quotes.
Yeah.
Kind of.
There's not a lot of great quotes on here compared to that one. I'll bring everybody up to speed on that in a second. Because I'm actually quite proud of what I've done there. As the ships rock and change, you can always see the sails of the Tolerance very clearly and the back upper deck, but at times the deck itself vanishes. This drags on as you guys go for the 5th day, 6th day.
So it's been a while here, Fulcrum, but you did ask me over here to ask about something, and it's been
sorry about
3
that.
days.
Sorry. By all means. We'll wind back time. Sorry to forward time on y'all. I get antsy.
She's
Oh my.
singing in Celestial about someone who needs help. I don't think it's about her, Morgaine seems to think, but she seems to hear someone. You said, Morgaine? She's
Yeah,
hearing someone sing this?
That's
Or say
the
this?
way she made it sound. Was that she was hearing someone else singing, and now it seems that she's singing the song, or that person's singing through her. I don't know.
So,
But she kind of didn't refer to it as herself. It was almost like something else.
so something in Celestial singing a song that sounds sad.
It's specifically the lyrics are discussing her asking to be saved, and that someone's going to just keeping
Hold me,
her.
kill me,
and-
kiss me, thrill me.
It sounds very
I
specific.
like how I gave you the actual lyrics, and already it's been turned into hold
Turned
me,
into you two.
kill me.
As if you
And
two
that's
have
all you're
only
going to
heard the song.
remember now. That's it.
That's all
But
it
you know
is.
what?
And it'll be like, oh, you remember when it was hold me, thrill me? I'm like, that was
But
never
I'm,
the lyric.
but I'm gonna remember. That's the thing.
damn it.
I'm
You
not
won't remember
gonna
the
forget.
correct information, but
Fucking
we'll remember that you
Pathetic
two
pop
came up
culture
with
bullshit.
this.
Don Henry.
Yeah, and there's something about like a light and like burning her. I don't know.
Now the
But
song's playing in my head. God damn it, Kim.
So you have
awesome.
a story of a damsel in distress. Speaking in, you said Celestial?
oh yeah, I think
And-
so.
Worried that she's going to be killed if she's not saved by fire.
I think it sounded like that.
And you've heard this how, where, when?
Well, I didn't hear it. I guess Harmony heard it.
And Harmony is the illusory bird?
Oh no, I think she's real. I'm pretty sure she's related to me, actually.
I think Fulcrum and I can see her, but I don't know
Yeah,
if
she's right
anyone
there.
else can. She's literally right here, right now.
Well, we
Oh,
went into
that's
that weird dream thing, you and me.
She's totally not there, right?
I don't think you can.
It's
see her.
very adorable that they're trying to convince you of this, but you don't see anything. But Skeezer, in your experience, there are definitely stranger things that have happened. So
Skeezer
who
winks at
knows?
Morgaine as if he's in on the joke. Yeah, So anyway, it's
I just
totally
kinda look
there.
at him like, why is he winking at me? This dude's weird.
Well, do you think there's anything like?
Well,
magic you can do?
it's been since when?
Morgaine, how long?
The song is new as of 5 minutes ago. Just started the song. I mean, obviously we've both spoken to her before, but the song is new. I don't
So
know how
just
long she's been hearing it.
So maybe in this area then. Okay, well, let me sit down for a second, and I'll ritually cast Detect Magic.
Let me determine how crazy these fools are.
100%.
You see
100%.
You see
100%
in the
sure.
area where they pointed her location sits, you see a moving and turning gently. It flows like water currents. Aura with the runic coating of not arcane magic.
Okay.
You know the marks of arcane magic. They're very precise, they're very clean, they're very planned, or they carry some sort of genetic component that you can sometimes read if you're really focusing. This is something else. You're not sure what flavor of magic it is beyond arcane, but you rule out arcane.
It's not divine.
You've seen some divine magic cast. It could be divine.
Okay.
But you're not certain what subset of divine it could be. Oh my God, the quotes. I have to explain that. I have to explain that after you know this.
Nope.
No, I gotta.
What's going on? Everybody watching this right now watches 7 Days to Die. They know where the quotes come from.
Okay.
So
that's fair.
Interesting.
The auras you get, give me an Arcana check.
Okie dokie. Let's see. Skills. Where's my skills? Arcana. Bada book. Bada boom. That's a 23.
Amazing.
I rolled a 16 with a +7. The rerun roll.
I believe I've covered this before. So in case I sort of retcon the specifics, I could be a little bit off. However, predominantly, Harmony is conjuration and enchantment, heavy on enchantment. That is the majority of what she is. She is there's a thread of conjuration that flows through her, as well as a thread of divination. And that's all of it. She's primarily those three. If I had to base it on percentages while you're evaluating, staring at her, the divination's like a 5%. The conjuration is about 15, and the remainder is enchantment.
Okay. All right. Oh, well, so there is something there. Well, interesting. There does seem to be a bit of a divination magic involved here. Not very much, but that could be like a scrying attempt or some kind of message, perhaps, coming from elsewhere. But
well, we met her on. I think you told us when we described it that it was like the plane where magic comes from. That's where we found her. There were like devils trying to get her.
Yeah.
This has all happened while you were off doing, your whole ape escape.
Ape escape.
Things did go a bit bananas.
Oh.
Bazinga. Well, yeah, I would be very fascinated to find out where this, you said Harmony came from.
Yeah.
Well,
she didn't know her name right away, and something about her feels really familiar. Like, I think I don't know if Dad made her, but I feel like Dad's involved.
Do they always sit there and act all weird every time something strange happens? Because if they do that, it's going to be a really long trip with a lot of little powwows like that.
Yep. It's pretty much what they do all the time.
Well, they have their priorities out of order. And with that, he pulls out.
Thanks for the raid. Much
Thank
appreciated.
you.
Nice.
Thanks.
We're playing our 5th edition Everstorm game here. We're on the high seas, starting off on a bit of an adventure. And we're in the middle of trying to sort out some of our magical mysteries that have affected our group that none of us have any clue what the hell's going on. So we're getting to the bottom of our lack of knowledge.
Yes.
Goddamn DMs who love cryptic bullshit.
Jeez, DMs. They're the worst.
This is why we can't write game recaps, because we're like, I don't know what that was.
My favorite on your game recap on that thread is when you wrote, well, here's all the stuff we definitely didn't pursue. There's this plot we didn't do, this plot we didn't do, and this plot we didn't do because we said, fuck it.
We just fucking walk away.
I love that.
But yeah,
with that, he pulls out a bottle, and you can see it is a bottle of booze that he clearly snagged from Dibbin's kitchen. It looks like cooking wine.
You look like you could use a bit of a drink.
Been a few days at sea, mostly watching these same things.
That's her poetry, though. That's why she's so... Gives a man time to think about his place in the...
You know this port city we're going to, right?
I've been there on 3 occasions.
Oh, good. We need your help navigating around for what we need.
And what do we need?
Well, that'll be up to the captain, I suppose, but I'm pretty sure they're going to want to resupply up. Perhaps some of these refugees that we saved from the slave pits and such may want to try to find proper shelter.
You would offload your overflow to this place, then?
If it's a place where they would be not immediately slapped back in chains, I suppose.
They would not be immediately slapped back in chains, but given time, I can't say what will happen because the slag be strange. That be the problem.
The slag, is that the name of Presida's people?
Mm-hmm. That's what they called themselves, at least. They are prone to odd senses of station and wealth and to what whom belongs to what. I wouldn't call them using slave speak, but they do have servitude.
Do they use proper coin?
They like metal, but you're not going to like the inflation.
I can handle the inflation.
But they do take metals, build their ships out of them, and use ships, for one. They run hot.
That's interesting. Well,
I hope it'll be at least better than what you're used to, because I know we're all more than a little sick of those below, so to speak.
The Wobbin, yes. I was just hoping maybe I'd find a port that I didn't have to crush under waves.
I don't know if you could on this one, to be honest. It's back off the shoreline, up a bit of a mountainside. Big walls. They're a defensive people. Usually the bad guy back in the day. At least that's the way the Waffen talk, so I'm not sure who to listen to.
Well, at least we won't have a hostile welcome.
No, I've seen outsiders there before. On one of my visits, there was a group of 6 outsiders walking around like they're doing business. Looked like adventuring types.
Just out of curiosity, since you've been here longer than me, you've probably gotten to know the stars quite well. Have you ever seen one that changes its location in the sky each night?
No, but not quite the same, but maybe. Well, I have seen
one of the stranger beasts, so to speak. It's sort of made out of a piece of the sky. Terrible.
Sky mouth. I think that's what the Waven call them, right? Sky mouths.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
this is certainly takes the form of a star off on the horizon.
Well, when I saw it, it sort of changed the sky. I saw it at night. Saw it amidst a storm. Face like a cloud.
I think we encountered one of those a while back.
Awful.
Well, this one appeared up over there, off the stern of the ship up that way a bit. And then when we came land inside it, elevated. Same amount of distance off the horizon, but up at the top of the mountains. Moved. Not in the way that normal stars would move.
Well, to that I say we drink, because I've got no answers for you.
I was afraid of that.
That'd be strange there, Alred. That'd be strange.
Well,
Almond?
I've seen it for 3 nights in a row. I suppose I'll see it again tonight.
Almond.
Want yourself some nuts there, Balrin? Found these below. Your ship is quite well stocked.
Been raiding Dibbin's kitchen again. It'll anger him quite enough.
You mean my kitchen, as I am now aboard the ship and part of the crew. That be the rules.
Well, I'm not sure.
Besides, no gnome's going to tell me I can't take food. Just nonsense.
That's fair. All right, then. I may need you to take the helm for a bit here shortly.
I'd be happy.
The rest of the, I think I have something the rest of the guys are going to want to see, and I need somebody I know who won't put this thing into the tolerances broadside while we're down there.
With that, he puts a hand on your shoulders, like, "You've done me a great honor. I haven't gotten to pilot a ship in so very long."
Oh shit, we're gonna crash this one too.
And with that, he takes the wheel, and you just see a wave of relaxation. He looks like a person taking the first drag of a cigarette after a long day. It just washes right through him.
Gents, come here. I do have something I need to show you.
Oh, they're all hovered around Morgaine, pointing at his knee near the loot where it's resting and talking about a bird.
Sure. Here or?
Well, we barely almost got to a breakthrough, so let's throw another one on the fire.
A breakthrough? What are you breaking through?
Well, there's apparently some kind of magical mystery afoot with a potentially person, celestial speaking, needing saving from some kind of awfulness. But by all means, what do you have?
I'm sorry. Did you say someone singing in celestial?
Yeah, you know the song that you just probably heard, I don't know, 5 minutes ago?
It was coming from music. I assume Morgaine was playing something.
I mean, he kind of was, but he wasn't. It was Harmony, the little bird we told you guys about.
He's a bird.
Yeah, you might not remember.
There's a magic bird as I sing it on the knee. I'll sing it out like a song.
Yeah, he knows what's up.
Yep, that's the one.
Mm-hmm. Well, with your permission, Captain, I'm letting Jerrigan take the wheel for a moment so you can come see this as well.
Oh, sure.
Sure, it's better than me taking
Skeezer, you investigated that chest that set aboard the Grit.
Sure did.
The one that had the hag in it. Did you ever investigate down inside of it?
Well, I almost found myself inside of it in a very Well, let's just go ahead and leave that be. I almost did, but no.
I volunteer to dive into that chest and find out the secrets.
Now that we got both ships functional again.
Hold that thought. Oh, no, I'm sorry, not you, Balrin. I meant, nine hells. Balrin, you keep going. Don't go into the chest. I think Balrin was going to tell us about the chest.
So, I was concerned that without knowing where the waters go or where they come from, that it could be a potential spot where we could be invaded by more sea hags. Things, whatever those things Sally was.
Sure.
So, for the security of everyone aboard the ship, I decided to take the form of a shark and dive in and see just where the waters go.
Oh,
I've
I
been
didn't
wanting.
find any more sea hags, but I did find something else rather quite interesting down at the bottom.
Really?
Yeah.
I was hoping perhaps I could get Kodo to come take a look.
Oh, sure. Is Kodo on the deck? No. Hey, go find Kodo. If you need something to do, you don't have to like jump into the chest. But can you go down there and find Kodo? Oh, don't hold the thought anymore. Let's
stay there and I'll help them show out here.
Yeah. Okay. Let that one go. And here's a new one. Can you bring us Kodo, please?
Get!
That's very fascinating. I've been wanting to go inside there to find out what it was. If it's an extra
So
He
space or
bolts, almost slides down the railing of the stairs, lands. Kodo, heavy footfalls come up to where you sit.
Dragon man of the blue! Come on
Yes.
to your top deck! And he wants you sharp and ready to go! Taking your great hammer and smashing the faces of evil pirate kings and making their blood glow everywhere!
I rise and grab my maul and I start running towards the deck.
Yeah!
With me, young dwarf.
And then you see Tolag grabs a stool you were sitting on, smashes on his head, and comes running up with you with a broken chair leg.
So I'm
Oh,
running
got him!
with
Get out of there!
with my maul in hand, and I'm starting to activate my breath weapon. What is it?
whoa.
Totally.
Oh,
No. Okay. Lester.
that escalated. Actually.
Where's the battle spirit needed?
The dwarf said you needed me.
Yes.
Smack
Yes.
that shit that moose wax.
What did
Not-
Uh,
you say?
We
Let's
need,
just see some clocks and stuck
I
on my
need you to take a look at something, but we have to take a little swim to get there. So I'm going to perform a couple rituals that allow you to move freely underwater and breathe.
Oh.
So everyone just hang tight for a moment.
You
Bauer
need
reaches
my
with his-
maul.
You can bring it if you want to.
They need my sword!
I didn't see anything dangerous down there,
We need your sword on the deck in case anything shows up while we're gone.
but mostly,
Hey! And he runs off with the broken chair leg.
I need your understanding of your people's religion. And I take out the trident,
Tondar.
I hold it forward, and Bowern begins to cast freedom of movement as a ritual, and then ritual cast water breathing on the group of us.
Nice.
Morgaine, you just heard me say, stupid dwarf.
Bowern takes it over to the water chest that we've had for ever and a day. He kicks open the top of it. This is apparently known as the cup.
Oh, okay.
It's tied to the goddess Elos. I don't know what Sally was or what she was doing inside of it, but there is another guardian down there who hangs out in the temple that resides at the bottom.
Oh,
It is quite a swim, thus why you'll need the enchantments I placed upon you. But just pretty much swim straight down. I don't think you can really miss it.
did you happen to look up to see if it were in an actual ocean?
I did swim back up. I didn't see any sky or stars.
Well, I'm excited. Let's go.
And you need me? I'm sorry,
Yes.
I did not catch all of the conversation. The little dwarf was claiming we had a battle.
When you get down there to the bottom, you'll see why I need you.
He's saying
Hopefully it
that there's
won't
some
be a
kind
battle.
of
It's not a
ancient
battle.
architecture or something.
Some religious symbolism.
There's various religions depicted down here, but there's one that's crumbled. I need to see if you can place a name on it.
I will do my
I'm-
best.
Dive on in.
I'll be next.
I follow.
And so the crew sees the chest covered in barnacles and seemingly old salt rot everywhere. And yet they see one by one you guys step into it and sink in as if it's like a bag of holding. Water openly splashes as each of you dive into it onto the deck. And with the last one,
we all die.
you guys flush into dark and pretty cold water. But as Balrin leads the way, you guys swim down, and it's deep. You swim for a while, and then you sort of lose track of time. But it's definitely more than like just 5 minutes of diving down as deep as you can. Maybe it's been 20. Maybe it's been half an hour, and you start to see a light at the bottom. And the light is very faint, but it is being extended out from an opening of what seems to be a doorway or cave opening. And as you guys get to the bottom, you start to see there is a large structure, partially crumbled and built into rocky terrain at the bottom. You guys see reefs everywhere. You see crumbled pillars and broken tile. And you are standing at what looks to be an old stone and partially ceramic temple built into the ocean floor.
Now, before we go in, there's some men or a squid that serves as a guardian. It's not hostile. We'll attempt to speak to you. I don't know what tongue he uses or if he just implants the messages in your head, but he may appear in order to answer questions, but it doesn't seem to know too much, to be honest.
Well, if you give me a short while, I can activate a spell to break the silence.
I take them on inside.
As you guys swim through, there is a short entryway that opens up into a large dome-like ceiling with a dais, and surrounding it are pillars. And you see, as I described specifically to Balrin last game, giant, like 15-foot about statues. On the left, you see a beautiful elven woman with hair like waves and sea foam that flow across all of her. Only half of her is visible out of the water as the hair becomes water. Her fingers are webbed and she's holding a chest. The second one is broken. The left arm it would have that would be entwined with Elos's is missing. He is a few feet taller with 2 long arms. He looks human, except his arms and legs are humanoid in the front, and then behind them they start to separate as if they will unfold into separate tentacles. And he is smiling. He is without hair. He has a wide belt, almost like a WWE belt, that crosses his entire midsection. It is also partially broken with the upper half, the left arm that's missing. The third statue is very alien. It is extremely deep sea angler fish, hatchet fish type humanoid. It has spines coming out of its back, visible multi-folded gills along its neck, vertical eye slits, triple long tails, and it holds a trident that is extremely... it's Balrin's trident, except large and made out of stone. In one hand, and in the other hand she holds 9 jagged harpoons. And the last one is a barrel-chested man with pointed ears, a beard full of sea life, and a great grass-woven sash. He's holding a fishing net, and he has around his neck an amulet that looks like a compass star from a map. And all the god statues appear to be arm in arm, except the broken one, who has a right arm entwined, but the left arm's missing.
Now, according to the Guardian, this, of course, here is Elos, holding the chest, the cup.
Okay.
This one here, the one with my trident, must be the god that was worshipped by the swamp jaws back at Shepherd's Point. This one here they say has been lost. That's why his statue is crumbled. They believe that the artifact belt he wears is also lost. But the reason I brought you here...
By lost, I
'cause the last
assume you
thing-
mean forgotten.
He said lost to time.
Yes.
His words, not mine.
Forgotten, destroyed.
Potentially the whole civilization has crumbled for all I know. But this last one bears a compass called the Star. I believe with this artifact, we may be able to find or get our way home.
Artifacts.
I'm in possession of 2 of the 3, and the Guardian told me my charge is to find the last one. He gave me no instruction otherwise.
And you've spoken to this Guardian how frequently?
Once.
You look around and you see, and Fulcrum you see, nestled in an upper strut holding the dome up in a shaded corner, a form ever so slightly readjust its position and give it away to you two, but it is actively stealth to the other 3 of you.
So, what I'm curious of is if any of these statues match anything from the Pantheon as you understand it, Kodo.
Religion check
Uh-oh.
to those proficient in religion.
I don't think that's me, but let me
That
check.
is not me.
Nope.
16.
It's not me.
I mean, I have a score, but I think it's just me.
Kodo, in your time at the monastery,
A monastery.
it is the place of those that follow Lonim to value knowledge above all else, and all knowledge is worthwhile. You know Elos. You know that the children of the ancients, or the children's children of the ancients, decided to rename the aspect of the mother that worships and guards the sea, Elos. And yet, Elos casts a shadow. And over time, that shadow became worshipped by those that favor the darkness in Elos, her anger, her rage, the creatures that crawl in her shadowed depths. And that shadow eventually got a name. And Obegon is the dark sister of Elos. There are races that worship only her and not Elos. However, they are perceived as sisters. The one on the far right, you do not recognize. And the one that is lost to time, you also do not recognize.
So the only one I do recognize is the one
The
that
spooky one.
Okay. I do not know the one that has been lost. But I do know that one. Obegon, who is said to be the dark sister of Elos.
Once he name drops it, Balrin, you have heard that name. It just didn't really make a lot of sense to you in the past.
I've never seen the visage before, but I do believe I've heard that name uttered. So, what makes this more interesting is the entire set is known as the Mother's Embrace. I don't know what happens when you bring multiple pieces together. I hold the trident now. I'm in possession of the cup. It sits aboard the grit. They don't seem to interact with each other whatsoever. But I know what power this trident holds, and now I'm beginning to better understand the depths of this chest and what it might mean. So, that leaves us only with a chance to perhaps find that compass.
When we came in, when I looked up, was there a surface, or was the surface the opening that we came through?
The surface was there, but there was a single square of it that was discernibly brighter. The surface above this ocean is of a mirrored night sky. You're looking at a night sky from underwater, so it looks like somebody flowing mercury over black.
Okay. All right. Is there like clear evidence of like the statues breaking apart and like the sediment down below, or is it just like these statues?
The pieces of the broken statue are there. You could theoretically find them all if they haven't been moved too far. You can clearly see part of the broken arm is at its feet.
Okay, Skeezer would definitely be going over there doing archaeology, trying to separate them out, rearrange them.
Okay,
if you want it, I could reform the stone.
Give me an investigation check.
Okay. I got the mending cantrip as well, so where is it at? Investigation.
They said in the description earlier that the belt was supposedly lost.
Got an 18
or whatever.
The investigation, you're digging through, and you manage to find a lot of the arm, maybe like 70%, and part of the upper torso. And you can see that the belt goes all the way around and is covered in a lot of like shelled creatures on its relief. You can see there is little nautilus shells all the way around, but there's a centerpiece to it that is missing, except until you find it in the rubble. And that centerpiece is the front of the belt that was like dented and half. And so you find two pieces that slide together, and you can see very clearly the largest shelled creature looks to be some sort of crab form. And on close inspection, its shell has a series of tiny dots that are shaped like windows.
Oh, well, that's fascinating.
What is it?
Take a look at this. This initially I thought it was just an animal's, depiction, crab shell or something of the like, but this looks like a place. Now, you said it was carved out of a stone, right?
Yep, they're all some sort of stone.
So it's not like actually hollow or anything like that.
No, and all of the statues are solid. They appear to be carved out of the same stone. You're not familiar with this stone. It is definitely sedimentary. It's got some veins to it, and it's got some like levels to it. However, it is a cool gray color, in that it's like slightly towards the blue spectrum of gray, as opposed to like a brownish gray. The entire temple seems to be carved out of it. And you do recognize similar stonework you saw in Vula Sands. So it seems to be a stone that's at least on this side of the world.
Well, when we were destroying the temple in Vula Sands, the pieces that were flaking off of your brutal hand looked exactly
every
like
single
this
time
stone.
that city comes up. It's always in the context of that place we fucked up. Remember that place?
I'm not sure if Balron's ever been aware it was Skeezer.
I've told you many times.
Okay.
Yes. And you're like, I don't think so.
He doesn't remember. It is the most.
You
The
don't
player
remember,
and the
your
character
doesn't
both
remember.
do not remember. It's amazing.
Just wrote me out of history.
Just keeps rubbing in Skeezer's face. I fucked that place up. I don't know if you're even there.
Well, he's just trying for it to become the Balron that destroyed it.
Yep. You get your legend one way or the other. But this seems to be carved out of stones that they use. At least somewhere native to the site. I think this is from here.
Well, I mean, it could be. I don't know. This place is obviously kind of somewhere and yet nowhere all at the same time.
Probably a pocket dimension like a portal.
One thing I know for sure, none of these match anything that resembled the 3 once one statues that we destroyed in Vola Sands when we sacked the entire town.
You know, like you do.
I love it.
yeah.
Nor does it look anything like the statues they have to now reconstruct because of that time we sacked the town.
Just digging. What was the name of that place again? You see slight twitch, Bowron and Fulcrum as the thing is trying to readjust to move a little bit closer to where you are, but it is trying to do that while sliding slowly in the shadow along the arc beam that holds up the roof.
I think your friend is watching us, Balrin.
Probably is. Keeping a distance, I assume. But
I mean, no.
What does he know?
he knows what he's been told to tell me. It seems like that's it. He
Does he
described
talk
what
to
the names
me?
of the
Talk to me, squid thing.
Squidward.
God damn it.
You should have inserted a name before we got
I
to
should
it.
have.
You should have given him a name.
God damn it.
Squidward it is.
If you don't let him have a name, motherfucker. It's all right.
We'll get you one way or the other.
It's all payback from the times I just crudely named whatever I wanted in Pancakes games.
Yep. Uh-huh.
At Kodo's command, the thing drops down, fluid, almost like throwing down like a bed sheet, and it's just to unfurl with all this flowing movements, and it lands on the rotund statue that's got the fishing net and the star, and it sort of curls around the head, and you can see it clearly is missing 2 tentacles that have been healed over as nubs. It is a large octopus, and it is about the size. Its head / body is about the size of a large dog, so it's not bigger than all of you. And you hear a voice very clearly. You see no mouth, and it is a little uncertain whether it's coming right at your ear or in your head. I am the guardian. I am the caretaker. Nail bearer. What would you have me say? Of nail bearer.
You are the guardian of this place.
That is my fate, as set by the 4.
Then
that
you
are no
gave my
longer.
friend a quest.
No. I spoke to him, as is my place, as is the fate of the nail bearer, as is the fate of the cup bearer, as is the fate of the star bearer. It rolls around.
Is the star bearer the one that's on the far right that I don't recognize?
You do not recognize 2. The overweight one that is very jolly and is holding a large fishing and a grass skirt with pointed ears and a big beard full of sea life. He bears the star around his neck. He looks like he looks kind of like an overweight aquatic half elf. Like, it's hard to nail it down. He does not look like a Wavin. He doesn't have the weird eyes.
He's a water wub.
Say,
Little
he's
bit.
Water Santa.
He's water.
Yeah, he's like Water Santa. Yeah. But he's got big pointed ears.
Are you saying he's
Not like a-
claws?
Aqua claws. Yeah.
God damn.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
I win.
Sea Santa.
The Aqua claws. The octopus slides around off of that figure onto Obagon, and so you recognize Obagon and Elas, the two female figures. You don't recognize the two male figures.
Tell me, who or what is the name of the vaccine?
What's a vaccine?
Elf. It's draconic, sorry.
Thanks. It slides over. Far, far off. There are many that call this one Hogo, that call him the great fisherman, that call him the giving father, that call him the smiling tide. Hogo the generous.
And he bears the compass.
The star. And with that word has a minor echo throughout the chamber. Quiet, but noticeably different from every other word spoken.
The star.
Did it echo when he said it, or just when the Guardian did?
Just when the Guardian did.
Okay.
I look around just to see, do any of these gods happen to have anything shaped like a cauldron?
They do not.
Okay.
The closest is the cup, but it is the chest. You do notice that the chest, as Elas holds it, is partially open and is pouring seawater, which is becoming part of her lower form.
So you see, I've never seen half of these figures depicted before, but the one thing I do know is typically creatures will take the gods in the form of themselves when they can, when they're able.
Potentially, yeah.
Thus why Elas appears to be elven. That's why these other creatures, I assume, represent where they may be found.
Potentially.
We'll need to be on the lookout for things of his depiction as I point towards the big aqua claws water Santa.
Well,
So
Aqua
jolly.
Santa, Aqua Claus, as we've been calling him.
Regular old
You-
sea Santa shanty.
If it's the star we're talking about, didn't we see something strange on the horizon?
Yes, there was a
month
star. It's been hovering up there the last few nights. I've been keeping an eye on it, but we never get any closer, but it just keeps elevating up as the elevation changes on the horizon.
Almost like it's watching you.
Could be directing me towards this thing for all I know. But
That's interesting. Where does it seem to be in the sky?
let's see, we're heading fairly due west. So it would be, let's see, I think he said it was off the starboard, so be slightly, northwest?
Starboard bow.
Yeah.
Still don't know
West,
nautical terms.
slightly north.
Yeah, slightly north.
Well, we're, I suppose, heading in that direction. Interesting. And did you check the magics involved in this place?
It shifts around, it avoids the broken statue, and it shifts onto Elas.
I did not spend that much time down here. I had merely come to just investigate that there was no threat or dangers from within this chest. In particular, since its previous inhabitant we believe to have fled. I didn't want to set sail with another witch aboard or something that we were unaware of.
It's always best to know which witches you have.
So I came down here prepared with most of my combat array of spells. I did not come down here with such a thing as detect magic at the time.
Well, while you guys look around, I'm going to take a look at, keeping track of its look. I'll draw all these things out, and I'll figure out what magics web and flow through them. So I'll be over here doing that.
While he's starting to work on that, noticing that the squid avoided the statue and looking at the crumbled one, I'm going to ask, what happened to them? Why is their statue broken? Would you like us to fix it?
Broken and undone, never to be mended. Time has changed, and with it, the death.
And it floats around Elas, slides and rests upon the chest.
Well, we have a little more time, but we will have to head back soon, or those rituals are going to lapse and you're all going to drown.
Oh, how long do we have?
Just a mere 24 hours.
I don't think those rituals last that long.
A mere 24 hours.
Water breathing does last pretty long, but freedom of movement probably.
So tell me, Balrin,
I think
you
they're
believe
both
it is
1
now
hour,
your quest, your duty to find and bring this compass here? Is that what
I
you
don't know
want
if I
to
have
show
to
us?
bring it here, but I have to obtain it. Now the question is, if a compass does what a compass does, we could potentially use it to guide ourselves, well, home, with a lack of a better way to get there. This is what I have formulated thus far, taking a few days to think about what I'd seen down here. That is still the goal, right? Get back to Glassgate. Maybe not for you, Kodo. I know you're not from there, but we have 80-some refugees or whatever that would all like to get home. As much as I would fancy them all getting off here at the next port and finding themselves a new home on this side of the world, I don't believe it's going to happen.
Well, I believe I did mention the elder claimed he was willing to aid us if we freed him. There should be more than one way to get home.
Well, boy, we should approach them all.
The question is, do we find the compass first? Or do we journey to the elder and perhaps he aids us to find the compass?
The compass is a wild goose chase at this point. The one thing you'll notice this place doesn't have is any manner of map, nor any manner of direction seems to come from its guardian about where to locate this thing.
Well, if you think that the star is pointing to something, then that is a pretty clear map.
Could be completely unrelated.
Well, you said northwest, and that seems to be the direction that you were mentioning your elder was, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, is it kind of the same way? I mean,
of course, it takes me distant from where I was intending or hoping to go, but it is a possibility that there are two in one direction.
I don't know for sure. The stars only appeared the last 3 nights, but those have been the last 3 nights since I came down here into the chest. I don't
So
know
you
if
never
they're
saw it
related.
before?
No, hadn't noticed it till then.
What did this star look like?
Star?
Star. Very descriptive.
Nothing. I mean, you've seen stars before.
The star. And then the echo.
that's ominous.
He likes doing that. Does it happen when he says the nail or anything, or the cup?
Well, he does refer to me as nail bearer because I have it.
What about the belt? Did it happen when he said anything about the belt?
It's been lost to time, he said. It's not retrievable. Whatever item it may have been must have vanquished whenever its god and its people vanquished.
Well, okay, so this star. The first time we saw something on this side, we saw a star fall from the heavens into the ocean. It was around the times where we were seeing the... Fulcrum, you were talking about the sky mouths fighting.
Yeah,
we speculated it may be their blood.
I did see a sky-mouth. I saw a few ships get sucked in through the Everstorm, but just as I was seeing that, that's when one of the sky-mouths showed up and almost died. That was a bad day. It's been a lot of bad days. Anyways.
Did the star look like that?
I don't know if I saw anything like that.
When we get back up, I'll show you the star I'm referring to. But for now, like I said, this is what we've got to work with. You can attempt to read magics down here. I assume you're going to find a whole bunch of divination.
Potentially. I do want to document everything I see here, and I don't see why this shouldn't be repairable, but maybe it's symbolic and should be left this way. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, he said not to be mended, right?
Hey, good night, Animal G. Thanks for
Good
the
night,
bits.
Animal G.
Good night, Animal. Have a lovely evening, and thanks for the bits.
Got him an early flight tomorrow.
Yeah, 4 a.m. sounds a little early.
That
Thanks for
sounds
stopping by,
awful.
hanging with us. Yeah, that's...
Thank you for coming by.
Well, I don't want to drag the rest of you around on some wild goose chase, chasing down some distant star.
It may be an exit. And
I
so,
wish I could say we had better options right now.
what else are we doing? I mean, I do need to go see if I could find the mystery to my own personal being, but we also have many things in this group to go discover.
Yes, we have 3 now.
I say we go to them all. It's not like we don't have time.
Yes.
Seems to be all we have right now.
So let's go back to the surface after I'm done documenting this, unless you have other things you want to see or do down here. And show me the star.
I am fine with that.
We swim.
Yep.
Bye, mister.
So we'll swim on back up if they don't have anything else they want to look at. And emerge back out of the box.
Okay.
Don't you get lonely down here? Well, we'll see ya.
It is my place to stay.
Well, maybe we'll see you again.
And as you leave, it floats into a darker recess of the same room. You wanted to cast Detect Magic or no?
Before we
left, I have it loaded so I can cast it up, and then I wanted to basically just like sketch up the area, make sure I had a good idea what it looked like and where things were arranged and all that kind of stuff.
All right, then I'll do that, and then we'll take a break. So, the temple itself appears to have, when you light up Detect Magic, a vein. It almost looks like it's pulsing with a cardiovascular system of flowing magic auras. And as you look, they have the exact same tone as when you have checked the trident. It is a faint bluish tinge with whites and greens, and the dominant arcana are not arcane per se, but the schools of magic, you say, are definitely, again, not arcane. It is something that feels like the divine you've seen Balrin throw out, except not exactly. Like, it's a little bit different. It's like a sister to what Balrin throws around. And you see it is heavy on conjuration, divination, abjuration. You get a strong vibe of necromancy. And transmutation. Those 5 flow through the temple. It is tough to tell percentages. They seem in equal parts. And it is the tightest arcana you've seen. It looks like it's woven together like a network of roots on a tree, flowing through the blood veins of the walls. Actually, a better parallel might be if the veins along the walls flowing everything were veins. It's like they're made, when you look up close, out of braids, perfectly woven into each other in alternating patterns of braidwork, layered very tightly. And as they flow through, they reach all 4 statues, but they fade and die as they approach the broken statue.
Now, does it look like they're flowing out of the statues or into the statues?
Yes.
Okay. And how far away from the broken statue does the magic stop?
3 feet. And when you look at the Guardian is covered in the same stuff. It's like you're seeing his cardiovascular system pulse and glow. And it's the exact same patterns.
Okay.
Give me an investigation check.
Alrighty. Investigation check coming right up. Let's see. Not the mightiest roll. I got a 6 on the die, 13 total.
And that is what you find.
All right. Well, fascinating. All right, so we'll do our swim.
All right.
You guys resurface as you are swimming up. Because you asked, Skeezer, you're approaching the doorway, but you also do see the surface of the ocean.
How far up? Does it look like it's easy to get to? Or?
Doorway sits level with the surface of the ocean. Flush. It's like looking up, you're looking at a wall of water, of which there's a single square that is a brighter color.
Okay. I gotta find out. I want to go and swim up to the surface. See if I die.
You swim up to the surface and you break the water, not knowing what you're going to get. And you see a night sky, and swirling through the night sky in the distance, clouds. It takes a while for your giant gnomish eyes to catch the pattern. But perception check.
Perception is probably not my best roll, but I got a 15.
At first you catch, what is that? And it's faint clouds that are showing stars through them. And yet, after about a minute of staring, you take in, wait, it's moving. That's like a joint or a knee? And the whole sky is the slumbering form of a man.
Whoa.
Oh.
He's breathing deep, in and out.
What does he look like?
He looks humanoid. Very muscled, with long arms and torso, legs, all sort of folded up, like he's leaping on his side, and he's got a full head of hair and beard that flow out slowly and wisp off into clouds, and you see ever so faint as you see like his mouth. And then you hear a deep breath that sounds like wind. And for a split second, you see tiny sparks of electricity move amongst his lips.
Does this resemble Oros at all?
Yes. Yes. This falls in line with the descriptions of Oros as spoken. Oros is more common knowledge because he is a god of storm and sky. So because he's weather associated, a lot of people have mentioned descriptions of him before, especially clerics, because they're very vocal.
Mm-hmm.
Just as like Flora is very well described as a nature.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's fucking fascinating. But the other thing Skeezer would be really intent on discovering while I'm looking at the sky is where the stars are, what they match, what they don't match, and if I can figure out a location.
They are Trelane stars.
Nice.
Oh, snap.
That is the sky you remember, pointing out constellations that you know. That's TNL, the tiger. That's
If we can only
Hadron, the water bearer. There's the three brothers of arms with their crossed weapons, ever vigilant. And those three are the ones that stand out the most because they're the ones that you personally knew stories about to tell kids.
Mm-hmm. Can I get a sense of where I am in Trelane based on where these are?
No.
Like navigational tools or anything?
You are not so worldly as to know. You haven't crossed enough of Trelane on foot to really see the sky change.
Okay. So even with navigator's tools, I won't be able to figure out a general gist.
Navigator, well, not swimming in a magic pocket dimension portal while you're floating, trying to no. But
well, that seems reasonable.
If you memorize that, if you try and memorize that, you could try and figure it out later.
Okay. Well, I will swim back down.
Okay. And with that, you guys surface out of the box, and you guys see that it is daylight. And as you guys went into the box, it was approaching night. And you can see there is a vigil around the chest. And you can see brain farting on his name. Wow.
Squidward.
No, it's not. Shut up.
Aqua Santa.
It's not Squidward.
Aqua Claus.
Toleg, I'm assuming.
No.
Don Henrik.
Dibben.
Damn it. Not Dibben. Your first mate.
Lindell.
Lindell. Jesus.
Wow. Yeah. I was sitting there saying
It's a really hard brain fart. I remembered his last name. You know, it's only like the second NPC that you met.
Yep. Best NPC.
Loomis Grace! Are you all right? And he's like, right, they're back! And he's got them Dibben's bringing over tea.
Oh, hey there. How's it going?
You've been gone for 9 hours.
Really?
It's a lot of
quite that long.
There was money down that you were dead, and I said no, because I said I'm not going to be the captain, so he can't be dead.
No, we're all okay. Actually,
And
with
with that-
our less violent trips.
You guys
Don't worry.
come out, and tea is handed off. And as tea is being brought towards you, Balrin, you see a hand block it, and it is a scaled hand. And you see with a small keg under his arm, Ajo just puts a cup in your hand, and Ajo puts a cup in Kodo's hand.
Thank you, Ajo.
Thank you, Ajo.
Ajo turns to you. You missed an eventful night. It was a different dream.
We can talk about it.
And with that, we're going to take a break.
Awesome. So we'll be back shortly, folks. We're gonna just do a quick
10 minutes
break.
or so.
We're mostly peeing.
That's what we do around here.
Mostly.
That's what it says.
And ironically, making beverages to make more pee.
Yes, you do.
So stick around. We'll be right back. It never gets less awkward than that.
All right, we're back.
We're back.
We're back.
All right.
back.
Thanks for sticking around,
Team.
folks.
It's the best way to come back.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
There
yeah.
we go.
So excellent. We are
good.
back from our whimsical trip to Breakland.
Breakland.
We
A
weren't
land full
lost.
of
No.
coffee and bathrooms.
So
That's
once
all
we-
they have, man.
And with that, battle buddy.
You got your
Uh-oh.
digitizing
Oh,
microphone.
he's got his
Yeah.
smokehouse this time.
Yes.
My nuts came out of a smokehouse.
They're smoky and salty.
We are not currently sponsored by Blue Diamond
No.
Smokehouse Nuts.
But
Currently.
Yeah.
Blue Diamond, if you are
Yeah.
watching,
Very open
Currently.
to the
we
idea.
are open for sponsorship.
I found him on
Yeah.
Twitter today.
Blue Diamond.
Happened. Don't you?
Yes.
I love your almonds.
Yes.
They're delicious.
Fans, make it happen.
Let's make it. Let's
Hashtag TT2KB loves your almonds. TV loves your nuts.
TT2KB wants the blue nuts.
Yeah. Put on there.
All right. So where were we? Coming back, getting served off.
We got back out of the box.
Yeah, and it's apparently morning, and we lost 9 hours, and we were, to us, did it feel like an hour, 2 hours? I know you said it felt like the swim was a while.
Yeah. Hour and a half, maybe at the most. Probably an hour.
We were down there longer than I was the first time, but time didn't dilate like this last time. However,
You know what they say when time flies when you're having fun.
unfortunately, I don't think during the day I can show you that star now.
Yeah, that's true. But good news. When I attempted to break the surface and succeeded without death, I'll mind you, I saw some very interesting and important things.
You saw something.
First of all, it's an actual ocean. Second of all, it's in Trelane. It's home-ish.
Wait, so the box itself can just take us home?
Possibly. I can't quite figure out where exactly we are in the ocean, but the stars are right. And that's not all. I saw something pretty amazing, honestly. You know, we've been looking at statues recently, but I'm pretty sure I just looked at Oros
He still lives.
When you
sleeping.
put your head out the surface?
He was in the clouds. He was just laying on his side, you know, like Dibbin sleeps. He's just like laying over in the corners, like
It's canon now. He said it. It's canon.
That's how Divin sleeps. He's
I
canon.
never. I was sitting here like, does Divin sleep on a side?
he has to because I saw his tattoo when he was sleeping.
He has to at least sleep on the
Sure.
stomach then.
But he's in a hammock, so there's no fucking way you're sleeping on your stomach in a hammock.
Oh, that's
No.
true.
That's how
Deductive
you break
reasoning,
your-
baby.
That's how you
That's
break
true.
your
It's a hammock. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a great bearded man with lightning coming out of his mouth when he was snoring, and side sleeper. Pretty fascinating.
Side sleeper.
This is the
Not
man
dead.
with the large beard and all of the fishing
No.
supplies.
No,
And he
It was-
appears to the Sky Father.
not subaquatic. It's more of an aerial feature. Yeah, lightning bolts, wind coming out. You know, breathiness, translucence.
He is the lover to Elos.
You're talking about Hogo Kodo.
Whoa.
Whoa, no.
Oh no, it rhymes though. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Interesting.
Do
I
I-
wonder
do
if
I
he's
know-
truly in there.
The conversion of who? Not Elos. Who did you say?
Oros.
Oros would be considered for us.
Core.
Yes.
The sky lords over all, and the sky determines the fate of so many. Core birthed the sky. We all know this.
hmm
Well, to me, he looked human, maybe.
Yes. I'm curious, though, being as these are relics of the ocean gods, and the chest specifically being that of Elos's, if it's truly Oros you saw, or if you saw what Elos wishes you to see up there.
Well, home would be a place we all wish to see, I guess. You have a triumphant ability to crush all hope. That's what I admire about you.
Did you see land anywhere?
I don't think so.
Negatory.
No, as much as I was trying to find landmarks or anything to reference, I didn't see any.
As overwhelming as it might be to be underwater, it truly hit you when you surfaced. And then when you saw endless ocean, and you swallowed it because the overwhelming driving force in Skeeter's always been curiosity. But you had a wave of fear and insignificance when you just saw yourself floating in endless ocean. Then that arcane training came in. This is not real. This is simply another source of knowledge. And you're able to focus on what's truly important. But it was daunting.
So Oros was there. And the sky was correct.
Seems so. And it's a vast ocean. Colossal.
Yes. The realm of Elos would be so. Well,
But it was Trelane. The stars, you could see the constellations. Hard to tell where exactly because the waves were bouncing me around and there was wind and all kinds of other manner of things, but it's a possibility. I mean, I wouldn't want to swim from there for sure, but
Let's call it a last-ditch effort.
well, if all else fails, I can handle the chest, and perhaps there's a way we can reduce the size of the ship small enough that you could take it, perhaps like.
so you're wanting to create a ship in a bottle situation here?
Well, perhaps. If all else fails, I can cast the rituals upon you all, send you through the chest with a ship.
Last I checked, the ship is not going to fit
Since
inside
when
that chest.
can we shrink the ship?
I'm the captain.
Sure,
I
there
should
are
know
ways.
these things.
I mean, there's magic, but then there's magic.
Okay, so we force perspective the ship. To the smaller size.
So
Nailed it.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Wouldn't it be
you guys
easier to
can
just
help.
increase the size of the chest rather than trying to shrink the entire ship?
I also have the
Notice-
grease spell.
Gnomish World Enlarger.
Yes.
Yes, Gnomish World Enlarger.
There you
So
go.
you guys sail through the day, and
No, we don't. I have to go talk to my friend.
we don't sail through the day.
That's right.
Take that, time passing.
Sorry.
Eat it.
You guys cast player urgency. It always
Yes.
stops time.
So with drink in hand, I put my arm around Balrin. Come, Balrin.
Like me.
Because we're drinking.
That's fair.
Can't argue with that logic.
So, what new has happened?
Well, this time we awoke on the beach and it was just the breathing. This time I saw the others with me. And that was strange. We all found the cave and we got to the mouth before we woke up. Everything, I wish I had more details to give you because the trouble was, everything was weird. Climbing was difficult, more difficult than it should be. It looked like just a slight incline with some rocky terrain, but nothing that involves getting on all fours, but everything felt like it was walking through bog or muck. Everything felt heavy, and yet I'd take my eyes off people for a moment, and instead of Sis being on my right, she'd be at my left. And this
Question.
time, yeah.
You said you saw all of the others. Was that everyone or just our crew?
I was getting to that. It was.
Did you see Ralithay?
No.
Damn.
No, I didn't. I saw all of us from this boat. And this time it was all of us. Labatagaz was at the shoreline looking scared and confused. She was too afraid to approach or overwhelmed or something. But she sort of just stood there.
These are dreams you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes, I've been having them too.
To be honest, I'm getting kind of sick of prophetic dreams. I would kill to just sleep and just let it be sleep for once. But may the mother wait and grant me peace.
I would tell you I understand, but I've never slept a day in my life.
What?
I've never slept. I have no idea what you're referring to. I mean, I know what a sleep is, but I myself never slept.
He looks at Kodo. That's a thing. That's a thing that happens.
The vaccine, strange.
Oh, yeah. All right. What about the little hairy ones? Do they sleep?
They sleep, yes.
All right.
Snore louder than us.
Canon.
Well, that can't be bad.
Canon. Yes. Now canon.
So you know where this island is? Or is that still...
I wish. At least it would be an answer, because this endless crypticism is just annoying.
Describe your island.
Sandy, thick rock. It looks like the kind of rock. It almost looks like the hedge loam wood we have back home, except it's rock. Lots of holes in it, porous, all over the beach, all about yay big, and leading to a single mountain that isn't massive. Yeah. Partway up, big mouth opening to the cave. Deep, heavy breathing. Real slow breathing, too, coming from in there. Have you met an ancient before? Sorry. Have you met a dragon before?
Well, I think I saw one fly overhead not long ago. Large crystal.
Oh,
Actually,
right.
I pulled out one of the scales. I collected a few of these from it.
Wow.
I don't know what it is exactly. I've never seen
Look, he turns to Kodo. Does everybody have one of these?
I don't know.
Can I have one?
Sure, here.
Oh, wow. Hey, thank you.
I don't know what it is. They fell off of it as it flew over, so I just picked a couple up. Thought it might be useful.
Yeah. You might be.
Or, perhaps valuable.
Wow. Thank you. Do I call you the Balron now?
I suppose you can.
Sure. Thank you, the Balron. He slides that in his pack, real careful. He takes his time, slides it in there, kind of wraps it in one of his one of the blankets that's been used as a cloak in the past.
Now, it didn't stop for chit chatter, so I suppose meeting is not the correct word.
I'm just putting two and two together, but if it's only happening to all of us and not any of you, and the breathing's that slow, it's an ancient.
If it's happening to the others, I wouldn't know. Again, I don't sleep.
Right, of course. You don't sleep.
I don't dream.
Got it. Very unsettling. I'm sorry, dreaming is great until it's not. Lately, it's been upsetting.
We enter sort of a trance where we're semi-conscious, but it's not quite sleep.
That sounds great.
Very short period of time.
Turns to Kodo. You're right. And Draconiki's like, that is fucking weird. You're brought up to speed.
So now we are at the
talking.
point we share the experience.
Labatagaz is dead set on going herself. If she can, she sees it as some sort of providence. Sis doesn't trust it, but Sis doesn't trust anything.
So do you have any lead on which direction this island is from here? If it's volcanic, that limits which islands it could be greatly. Most islands are not volcanic. It would be much easier to locate a volcano or a range where volcanoes exist.
Mm-hmm.
We're heading into a port. There'll be plenty of people who know the map better than us. I could ask Jerrigan if you trust his insights, but he's only served under Talua. I don't know how many volcanic islands are in Talua's domain, but he may even know of a couple, but they'd be far south from here, most likely.
You guys lead the way. I'll follow and do whatever you need.
The fact that the sensation is becoming stronger leads me to believe that we might be heading in the correct location, or direction, I should say.
As I mentioned before, there's been a star hanging up over the horizon. It moves differently than the other stars.
I'm inclined to agree.
I don't know what's guiding us to, though.
Captain, where we have plans for the day? Just,
You're muted, Tim.
We're still making our heading towards Prestida's city.
Right.
We lost some time. How many days out now? Skeezer?
We didn't lose time per se. Well, I mean, I guess
Well, we did.
We gained about 9 hours, so we went through the night and puts us out maybe, I don't know.
Skeezer, you're glancing, and based on the time lost, you estimate you'll be at the place either a day and a half or 2 days.
Well, looks like 2 days out. Not too far.
By the way, I relay all that information to the others, and just I put my own emphasis on the fact that I believe that we are heading in the right direction as the dream is becoming more vivid.
So now we have dreams becoming vivid, pointing us in a way. We have a star. We
It's
have
all pointing us the same direction, right?
I guess we'll
Or
see if we
generally
can
the
find
same
out
direction?
tonight when we can see it.
we have a song calling us towards something.
Yeah,
Any direction
I don't
on
know a
that?
direction on that one. No,
I don't know yet. Hopefully we get more.
But it only started recently, so
Harmony will let us know, I assume, if she hears it again.
Right. Well, I asked her to at least. Hopefully she would.
We're just
It
gonna
would
keep
be
moving.
truly convenient for all three to be related somehow.
3 out
use
of
a bit of
4.
luck.
Yeah.
Impossible to know for sure, I guess.
The storm is starting to subside in that you have less rain. The wind is not blowing as harsh. It's more just like a steady drizzle.
Mm-hmm.
And the wind is a nice, strong wind for the ships, but it's not shifting direction rapidly. So it's causing less work for everybody, which is nice. As you guys power through the day, it extends to like an overcast and the waves start to calm. However, though it's bright, you see no direct sunlight. You have full cloud cover. And as you're moving further and further west,
Mm-hmm.
the clouds are starting to line up and become more cleanly, patternedly spiraled towards the port side of the ship. As you guys move on, it is night before the last day, where you're thinking you're about a day off, and middle of the night, you guys, whoever's up at about 2, 3, can roll perception. It'll be the elves, I'm sure.
Before we kind of get to this
we
point,
don't sleep.
once it gets dark
They
enough,
don't sleep. Yeah, keep open eyes.
well, I do want to make sure they see the star that I've been referring to. I assume it shows back up.
Oh no, I'm rolling real dice this time.
It does.
Digital dice.
All right.
He is pointing everybody to the horizon, and where he's pointing Skeezer is about 10 o'clock on the compass. So it's just north of west.
Okay.
However, none of you see a star sitting there.
So now we have a bird that I can detect with magic but can't see. And now we have a star. At least I can't see. I assume nobody else.
Oh, I don't see anything.
And a dream that you also cannot see.
It's That's sorry,
Interesting.
feel left out, guys.
Well, Balrin, you have the.
You can join me on my next stream if you like.
Ooh, I did roll a 19 perception. I don't know if that matters.
So quiet, Morgaine.
I rolled a 19 perception. I don't know if that matters.
Thank you.
I will get to that.
Okay.
Yeah, I rolled a 16, it looks like, so.
So, for the perception checks, you guys debate the existence of this star and ponder that. It moves into nighttime. Right around 1, 2 a.m., you see a form moving in the water, but wait, no, it's stationary in the water. And as you guys move pseudo towards it, it's starting to pass the ship, both ships, port side, off the bow. Let's see. What'd you get, Morgaine?
19.
Balrin.
Yep.
You see it as something partially submerged, floating. You can't really tell what, except that it is. It seems constructed, not organic. Morgaine, it is a side of a ship, and you can tell the reflection. It isn't made of wood.
Oh.
And you can see there's those 3-lobed starfish-like things.
Oh no!
Attached to the exterior, like 2 of them off the front. And you also see, and only Morgaine catches this, a head of something sink beneath the waves off the bow.
I think we've got company over here. Do you see that?
No.
There's something submerged, yes. We're avoiding
I'm
it.
sleeping.
It's a ship. It's not made of wood.
It's already sunk.
Yeah, it looks like it's turned on its side, but it's got 2, 3, maybe 4 of those starfish things. Because we saw those starfish thing before, right?
The things that drilled holes in the side of the grit.
Yeah, it looks like they're attached, and then I saw something else kind of dip behind a wave as we approached. So
Elves,
something
you
else
are
is out
not
there, too.
currently on a course to intercept it. If you just keep going, you will pass it about 100 yards off the port side of the Tolerance.
I mean, it looks like we can clear it with no problem, but definitely something to be aware of.
Procita's on the other boat, correct?
She is.
Do you have any way to message to Procita?
Me?
Yes.
If you put a note on this arrow, I can fire it across.
That'll work.
It's about
Message
the
for
best
you,
I can
sir.
do.
Message for you, sir. God damn it.
That boat is gonna. It's that one day that boat will mutiny.
Yes.
Yeah. Signal to whoever's on watch board the ship. Write them a note. Tell them that Procita needs to take a look, see if the ship is her people.
Okay.
I believe we were told that their people do not make their ships out of standard material.
The two ships have worked out a system of signaling that you've agreed upon. Just decide what it is. So this won't be new, but the signaling will be very simple. A single message. Stop. We need to talk. Something like that.
Okay.
Could it be like a directional warning, like off
It
the
could.
side, like in terms of like some
It
type
could
of
be
torch
like
signal, like
attention
we're
port,
suggesting, Cam?
attention
I like that idea.
starboard. Just decide. You guys have been sailing long enough in tandem. You would have already worked something like this out.
So yeah, we'll alert them to the direction that it's going to be off the side of their ship. I can write a more specific note, kind of what we were talking about, and I can. I'll just find a spot on the deck that's open. I mean, I figure if I can hit
fire and don't fuck up.
Yeah, I figure if I can hit a person from that far, I can hit like an open spot.
That stands to reason.
Just don't hit a person.
Just don't hit a person. Well, I don't think I hit a person with that.
Shoots her directly in the face.
Yes.
Just
Rolls a 1.
in the
Message.
eye. No, I didn't do that.
Crits.
So- I rolled.
Crits with sharpshooter.
Yep.
I rolled a 19.
All right. And it lands on one of the supply crates next to the mast. You had people were warned about this, like in a way, like you're waving and you're pointing at the bow, so they all kind of back away. They pull it off, and with that, you see there's a bit of a hubbub, and you see Procita is brought on board. Then you see there's a couple other things written down, and then you get a message. A voice comes into your head.
Stop
Hello.
shooting us.
This is Korik. Procita says it is a slag ship. She is worried. You may respond.
Is it just coming into my head, or is it coming to all of us? Or
Just your head.
okay, I relay that message to Bowron.
Hmm.
Do we need to say anything back?
Should probably summon the captain.
That's true. But before we pass it, should I give her a message?
Well, we should probably see if the captain wishes to stop and investigate.
Let's get the captain. Captain.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah.
Oh, hold on, I gotta wake up and put your hat on.
Oh no! Oh. Okay.
Did you fabricate it? Is it like real?
No,
Yes.
it's not.
At this point, absolutely.
Yeah, but by now you would have been able to fabricate it.
And it's so
Okay,
froofy and
so I
feathery.
pull on the hood. I put on the hat. Okay,
I make the adjustments a little bit as he asked, but
it's
mostly-
not quite as ostentatious.
It's more peacocky.
Peacocky.
Yeah.
Peacocky.
What's Yeah. Something in the sky, in the stars. What's happening? Dreams? Bad dreams?
I relay basically what we saw and what their message back was, letting you know that I have a mental link, I guess, to give them something back.
Why is she worried? And if we keep going, let's not cause trouble if we don't have to, right? We want to dock at this place, right?
Fulcrum, as you wake yourself up, this is now like the 6th day that when you've woken up, the arm just feels sore. It hurts. Especially the skin. The skin feels sensitive. So you're working out the aches as you are answering these questions.
My concern, Captain, is that if it's those three-lobed starfishes, those things are used by the Waven.
They're
It's
attached to the
attacking a
boat.
slag ship
I remember.
coming out of a slag port. We don't want to take the heat for it when we get there.
You think they'll blame us for them getting those fish on them?
We're outsiders. It's hard telling.
We'll find out why Persita's worried. I want to know more
Because it's
about
her
that.
people's ship that's been sank.
I want to hear it from her.
All right. Go, Captain. I request that information promptly.
A voice comes into your mind. She is worried about something called a Yolg Raider.
I'm relaying all of this.
Or bad relations with local Waven. You may reply.
I've relayed that message.
See?
Have they at this point, as we've been watching, and they've pointed out where like it was, has it like we've moved past at this point, or are we still kind of slowly like?
Nobody
like a slow...
told me you're weighing anchor.
No,
one
no,
said you're dropping anchor.
No.
So it is now past you and behind you by about 5 ship lengths.
Does it seem like it's following us if anyone has eyes on it?
No, it remains stationary.
Okay.
As it is sliding slowly out of view, everybody that wants to can make a perception check.
Real dice.
I suppose I should probably wake up
Certainly.
Oh, same roll. 19.
What are you guys looking at?
What are you guys looking at? I'm just fabricating.
I don't think we
hats.
should stop, right? Why ask?
I rolled a net 20.
Oh, skeezer.
I come out of a slumber just like on my side, like, huh?
What is that? I see it perfectly.
What is that?
19.
It's like
I have
through
a
a crack in the
22.
boat or something.
I'm a 22 also.
I have a 21 on a nat 20. That's ridiculous.
Okay, so 22 from Balron and
Koto.
20 and Kodo. My God.
Yes.
So everybody but like Morgaine sees this pretty much.
Everybody but the perception guy.
Everybody but perception guy.
I got a 19.
You
I
got a
also got a
19?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
also got a
everybody
19.
gets to see this. Shit. All right. Hold on then. Hold that thought. I gotta load this up.
My thought is why ask for trouble.
What concerns me is these are Talua's waters.
So what do you think we should jump in to what?
Concerned that it might be Joanna's work. Our ship has been marked by Talua's people. We are not at risk of being attacked ourselves if these are Talua's people. But why would Talua's people be attacking the slot?
What do we have to gain by poking our nose in there?
So as you guys go past, it's now separated by so many waves that it's beginning to appear and disappear based on the level of your ship. So as you rise up, you can see it again. And now it's about a quarter mile out. And in one last moment, you see that step onto the surface of it from out of the water.
Oh,
Ooh.
well, that looks crazy.
Can I share that somehow?
Dude.
Hold that thought.
Pretty awesome. Especially when you blow it up. That thing looks sweet.
My intention is to blow it up
It crawls aboard, and only Skeezer catches this. In the places where it's climbing up the side of the ship is forming. It's climbing onto the downed slag ship. Like you never really saw the full ship, just like a side of it sticking out of the water.
Okay.
But you're the only one that notices, though it's climbing up onto the surface to sort of watch you leave. It is doing so cautiously, not boldly. And where it's doing it and its hands are touching the surface, you see frost forming along the wall of the ship. So everywhere it touches or climbs, it's leaving behind little frost bits. But that's like
intense.
You catch it and you're not even sure that that's what you saw because it is so far away.
How big is this thing?
It's bigger. It's
Kodo size?
bigger than it's Kodo-ish size, maybe. It's tough to say. It's not a little guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Skeezerville.
Doesn't look wobbin.
What the hell is that?
But it's
She
not like
mentioned
giant
raiders.
size.
If it's her people being raided by some of them, maybe we can get in good with them.
Well, that was my thought, but we've done
No,
that.
Nope. Maybe we can get the drop on them now if they think we left.
So you want me to turn the whole ship about?
We could potentially put in an order to the other ships to cut lights and maybe turn around and sneak up on them.
Well, it definitely sees us. It's
Very
looking
well.
back at us.
Well, until we get out of sight, maybe. I don't know. If it's
Yeah, I
her
hope we
people
got
and
away.
she's worried about them being hurt, maybe that we should help. I thought
I
it
couldn't
might.
imagine you were going to let people in distress go by there, Fulcrum.
I didn't understand the situation. I'm sorry. I was half awake and I have my arm.
Like Balrin gives a shit
I
about.
love that Bowron is the one guilting him.
Just
Finally.
because it's an opportunity to.
Sorry, took me forever to get that set up.
Oh yeah, show them. Let's
Dude, that looks
if we're able to.
awesome.
It's
I did.
freaking badass.
Yeah, so that's the thing we're seeing.
You gotta watch out though. It appears to be exuding an extreme cold from its
All right.
hands and feet.
Well, maybe we can prepare for
Oh,
that then.
Levi, what amount of water vehicles am I going to need to turn this boat around?
In an open ocean, impossible.
it's
Can't be
it's
done.
not difficult. The